The First Omen, the newest horror movie, now out. Let's talk about it.
This is very real.
Okay, so The First Omen, the newest and latest horror movie out on the big screen for you guys to go and check out right now. And look, I remember watching the original way back when I was a teenager. I remember watching it, and I actually quite enjoyed it. Now to see them come back and bring this franchise back to life again. I mean, there seems to be like a lot of that going around. They tried it with The Exorcist, that didn't quite work. They're trying to do it with other ones. So if you guys don't know the main gist of this, if you guys have seen Immaculate, this Immaculate and this are very similar. Very similar. So, it's about the Antichrist being born, that sort of stuff. So, but this is like the prequel to it almost, where it's kind of like how it's conceived and everything like that. Now, a lot of people I've seen online talk about how this movie takes it up a notch. Now, as someone who has seen Terrifier 2 and Terrifier 1, I mean, at this point, I'm kind of numb to a lot of scenes because of the stuff I've seen in other movies like Terrifier, for as an example. So maybe not for me. I didn't find this movie to be like, oh my days, this is insane. Like, well, gross in that. There was only one scene where I was kind of like a little bit grossed out. That's because of just like it's a birthing scene, and I don't know why. It just really creeps me out. I don't know why that stuff creeps me out. I mean, they asked me when my kids were being born, do you want to watch? I was like, no, thank you. I'm good. I'm just going to stay up here, and I'm not even going to, entertain that idea. So I don't know. That just creeped me out. Outside of that, though, I could understand why some people would say that. If you're someone that hasn't really dived into a lot of horror movies, and you've seen like your likes of like Saw, Terrifier, Hostel, those type of movies where there's a lot of carnage and blood and gore, I can understand why this movie may do that to you, because there is some scenes in here that I could see the average moviegoer squinting and feeling nauseous and stuff like that from the scenes. But me personally, I mean, obviously I watch a lot of horror and stuff like that as well, so I'm kind of numb to that stuff. As for the story itself, I really liked this story. I thought this was actually a really decent movie, and it kept me engaged the whole entire time. The first opening scene, though, oh my word, they grab you. I must give it credit. They grab you straight off the bat with the first scene. The opening scene is riveting, and you're sitting there and you're watching it, and then something happens, and I'm sitting there like, oh damn, I was like, oh, I thought that happened, but I wasn't 100% sure. And then when it's revealed, I'm like, wow, okay. That's one way to start it. So kudos to them. They wrapped us in straight off the bat at the start with that riveting opening sequence. But the story itself, I like what they did with it, with how they told the story. We follow this one person, Margaret, and we follow her character, and she goes on this journey as well, this character arc herself. And you start to get attached to her because she seems like a very genuine person who's looking out for another person who feels like they're an outcast there, and feels like that they're going through a very similar things that she went through. I mean, after this and Immaculate, I don't know why you'd want to become a nun in Italy. I don't know. It's just me anyway. I mean, 2 movies now of it, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm good from there. But I really like the relationship and bond that she was starting to build in this movie. And then you get the big twist. And I thought the twist was actually, while I think the twist was predictable, I think a lot of you are going to predict what the twist is. I certainly was like, yeah, okay, now I get it now. I get where we're going. But it didn't take away from it. I still think it was executed and effective. And it did add another layer, because there's this one scene that happens, man, with this one character in a car. And I shouldn't have laughed, but I did laugh. I don't know why I laughed. I just thought it was funny. I don't know why. I don't know if that scene was meant to be funny or not, but it was kind of funny. You know what I mean? It's basically a car and a person, and the aftermath of it. You guys, if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know why I laughed, but I just did. But I thought the way that they incorporated that stuff with that other character and linked it with the twist in that, I was kind of like, okay, that makes more sense to why a particular character acted the way. So I like that. There was also, oh man, I mean, there were scenes where I was kind of anxious and on the edge. Especially, there's two particular scenes I'm talking about where there's something about Margaret in a room, darkness. You know what I'm talking about. There's two scenes in it. The second one, I must give credit to the practical effects, man. Oh my word, the practical effects. Holy moly, they looked incredible. Oh man, claps to you, man. That was just insane. I'm sitting there like, okay. When you start seeing this character come into focus, and then you see the level of detail in it. Beautiful. Beautiful. And that character that is portrayed in that, yeah, oh, I don't want to meet that character in real life. I'll tell you that now. I thought the performance of that particular character was fantastic, man. She was such a unique character that was really creepy. I mean, a lot of the characters are kind of creepy in here, but there's this one particular scene where the main lead who plays Margaret, the way that she acts in this scene was just, wow. It was really, really good. And you know what I mean? It's towards the third act of the movie. There's a scene where she's outside. And just the way that she performed that, I 100% bought that was actually happening in real life. Like, that was actually going on. That was insane. There's some stuff in here that was very creepy and weird at the same time, but it makes sense for what the story that they're trying to tell. So like that, the cinematography was great. I thought the music and the score really elevated a lot of scenes to me. So overall, the First Omen's actually quite good. I really enjoyed it. Now, I don't think it's going to be the best horror movie of the year. I mean, I could be wrong, but for me right now, I'd probably put it above Immaculate. I would put it above it. I'd put it just above Immaculate. I feel like they're both pretty similar. There's pros and cons to both of them that I really, really like, and things that I didn't like. But overall, I thought the First Omen was great. If you are a fan of the franchise, I think you're going to be happy with this movie. I think this does do it justice. This isn't an Exorcist believer. I'm telling you that now. It is not that trash. This is actually a very good movie that I think a lot of people are going to love. And if you're someone that likes horror, I think you're going to really enjoy it. If you're an average moviegoer who hasn't dived into horror, then I think you're going to get a lot out of this movie. So let me know what you guys thought of the First Omen. Did you guys enjoy it? Smash down in the comment section below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.